Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing my December wrap-up and January TBR. Sorry for the setup. I'm filming this on my computer because my room is a mess, as I'm sure you can tell. I've got boxes and stuff all in front of my bookshelves, so until I move, or at least for a while, and figure out where to put those boxes, I'm probably going to be filming like this. And yeah, so it sucks. But I read quite a few books in December, and I reached my reading challenge, which was 150 books, and a lot of people were like, oh my god. But I read a lot of graphic novels and mangas and middle grade, and I read a book that was like 19 pages, so all of that stuff kind of counts in that. I read 13 books in December, and the first one that I finished was Dust City by Robert Paul Weston. This was one that I was supposed to be reading in October, I think, with a bunch of my booktube friends, but I could not get into it. Even though it's a very small book, it took me a very long time to read this, and it's kind of about the big bad wolf's son, and I thought that it would focus more on the murders and not everything else. So I gave this 3 out of 5 stars, and I'm glad I only paid like $3 for it. Never mind, I give this 2 out of 5 stars. Then I finished Icons by Margaret Stohl. This is a book that took me like 3 months to read because I got into it and then I put it down and I couldn't seem to pick it back up. But it was okay. I'm not in a rush for the sequel, even though the covers are really pretty. But yeah, this is just another dystopian, and they seem to all be kind of the same for me at this point, so I only give this one 3 out of 5 stars. Then, because for a while I was behind on my challenge, I read Quidditch to the Ages and The Tales of Beedle the Bard by J.K. Rowling, and I gave both of these 3 out of 5 stars. They're both very short, and I think I enjoyed this one more than this one because this one got kind of boring at times, but they both made me want to rewatch the movies and reread the books, so I'm gonna have to do that eventually. But yeah, these are both pretty cute. Then I read Seriously I'm Kidding by Ellen DeGeneres. I read this along with listening to the audiobook, which was read by her, and I really enjoyed that. I got this at the library, but I do plan on buying my own copy because I read this in one sitting and it only took me a couple of hours. So I'd like to be able to reread this because it was seriously really funny, and I give it 4 out of 5 stars. Then I read the 6th Death Note manga in the series, and I'm enjoying this series quite a bit. I gave this one 4 out of 5 stars. Then I read Burning Blue by Paul Griffin. This is about a girl named Nicole who is kind of attacked and gets acid thrown at her face and then ends up like burning half of her face. But this is told from a guy's perspective who is trying to figure out who did it. So this was okay. I give it 3 out of 5 stars. Then I finally finished Never Fade by Alexander Bracken. I finished this the first day of the Booktubeathon, the Christmas edition of the Booktubeathon. And I've been 60 pages into this book for a month, maybe. So I was really happy to be able to finish it, and I was kind of disappointed with it. I can't say I'm in a rush for the third one, but the first one was definitely better. I did give this one 4 out of 5 stars though. Then I read American Born Chinese by Jin Lewin Yang. This is a graphic novel, and it was okay. It was kind of weird because it's about like 3 different stories in one, but I give it 3 out of 5 stars. And then I read the 7th and the 8th books in the Death Note series. This one I enjoyed more than this one. I gave 4 out of 5 stars to this one and 3 out of 5 stars to this one, though they were both very good. I like kind of where the story's going. Then I read Boy Meets Boy by David Levithan. It's kind of deceiving because I marked a lot of things in this book. There were a lot of parts that I really liked. However, I only gave this book 3 out of 5 stars. It wasn't my favorite by his that I've read, and it kind of seemed like a prequel to Two Boys Kissing in my opinion. But it got better at the end, but there were just a lot of things that I liked and had to mark off. Then I read Nowhere AZ, or Nowhere Arizona, as I learned that's what that means as I was reading it, by Chris Nunley. I received this book as part of a blog tour, and My review should be up in a couple of weeks on my blog and also a video review here on this channel. I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. It started off kind of weird for me and I didn't think that I would like it, but it got a lot better and I really enjoyed it. The last book that I finished this month was Bang by Lisa McMahon. I gave this 3 out of 5 stars. It's a sequel to Crash, that one, and I don't know. I was really looking forward to reading this because I really enjoyed the first one, but I was pretty disappointed. And there's going to be another one, and there really didn't need to be any more in the series. I think it would have been better as a duology, because now I'm just like, So, I'll probably end up reading it, but like with this one, I'll probably just get it from the library. So right now I'm currently reading Hidden Girl by Shima Hall with Lisa Wasaki, and this is the one that I received from Simon & Schuster, Canada, and it is about a girl, it's a true story, about a girl who gets sold into slavery when she was 8 by her parents, and she's in Egypt and stuff. I'm only about 30 pages into it, so maybe I'll be finished with it by the time I post this. It's pretty good so far. There's a lot of backstory, so it's really sad though. So my review for this will also be up later next month. So my TBR for this month is kind of big. It's not as big as my usual TBRs because my reading goal for 2014 is only 100 books, since I will hopefully be starting school and all that stuff, but I will make a video talking about that if I haven't already. So I've got 6 books picked out, but now that I'm looking at them, they're pretty big books. The first 2 are books that I got for review, and the first one is Organic Beauty with Essential Oil by Rebecca Park Totilo, and this is one I did an unboxing for, and it's got like different recipes and stuff in it, but it's also got like facts and information. So I plan on reviewing this and doing a video with my friend Sonia making some of these things, so that should be fun. So look out for that. I would also really like to read Earthman Jack vs. the Ghost Planet by Matthew Kadish. I received this from the publisher LCO Publishing. Yeah, they sent me a card and all this stuff, and this book is huge, like huge. So I didn't do an unboxing for this because the package was already kind of ripped open when I got it. So I'm really excited to read this. This is the first book in a series, and I think it's middle grade, but the font doesn't make it seem like it's middle grade. So yeah, hopefully I can get through all these books even though I'm still in school. And I'd really like to read The Forbidden Game by L.J. Smith. I talked about this in my Big Book Challenge of 2014, my books I'd like to reread in 2014, and once I started talking about this book again, I just got really excited because I remember loving this book. So again, very kind of small print, but I'd really like to reread this, and I doubt it's going to happen, but I'm going to try. Then I would like to read Vampire Academy by Rochelle Mead because I keep mentioning this one in my TBRs. I pulled it out of my TBR jar, and I don't know, I just keep putting it off even though I've heard amazing things about the series. Then for school, as I mentioned, and I also keep putting it off, I will be reading Sweetness in the Belly by Camila Gibb. This is something for my literature course, so I don't really know what it's about. And then finally, I would like to read Allegiant by Veronica Roth because I should be done most of my schooling by the end of January, and I just really want to read this. So this will probably be the first one out of all of these that I read. So that is my wrap up and my plans for January. I hope you guys had a great month in December, both reading wise, holiday wise, life wise. And I hope you guys have a happy new year. Let me know down in the comments if you've read any of these books or just what you've read. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow with a very big book haul. Like, I haven't done a book haul that big in a really long time. Bye!